morning. My name is Kyra Smith. I am a senior with a major in English and a minor in professional writing. Today, my presentation will be examining Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and the real world connotations of being gay in the workplace. Just give you a quick overview of what we're going to touch on. I'm going to give you a quick introduction of the book. We're going to look at tensions in the 1950s, which is the decade around which the book is written in. We're going to dive right into how hiding one's sexuality affects our health, both mental and physical, how it affects their life of advancement in their career, and then also look at some positives of the benefits of coming out in the workplace. Just a quick introduction about the book. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, written by Taylor Jenkins Reid, tells the story of Evelyn herself, her fame, fortune, and love through her multiple marriages in her Hollywood career as an actress. While she has married 7 men, the main relationship of Evelyn's life is Celia St. James, her fellow co-star and the love of her life. They are both Hollywood actresses, and they both had a lot to lose: their careers, their houses, their money, their freedom, which is something we will touch on later, especially for the time period. Harry, who is Evelyn's friend, partner, producer, 5th husband, and father of her child, is also gay and is also very much at risk because of his sexuality. It's a very dangerous time to be gay. So jumping in to homosexuality in the 20th century, specifically the 1950s, people who fell outside of society's norm of heterosexuality were in grave risk of losing their lives and their freedoms. States introduced something called vice squads, which is basically a legal way for police to arrest people who fell outside of that norm. They were called perverts, deviants, inverts, basically homosexuals, and commit them for being crazy or whatever the reasons may be. It wasn't very concrete back then. So jumping into the issue of how being closeted in the workplace affects people, it is a very high stakes game. In the US, 36% of all LGBTQ people reported workplace discrimination, and 46% reported being closeted at work, probably due to the same issue of discrimination and fear of career advancement, of them not having career advancement. Reasons vary as to why people stay silent about their sexuality, but some reasons are stigmas and the repercussions that may fall onto them, such as losing their job or being looked over for promotions. While judging a person based on their sexuality is illegal in the US, it still very much happens. Gender bias is still very much involved in hiring and firing decisions, as is race. And the decision to hide or disclose someone's sexuality creates multiple concerns for the LGBTQ individual, as it places them in a high risk for stigmatization, isolation, depression, suicide, abuse, both physical and mental, and rejection by their peers. Bringing this back to the book, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I've picked a scene for you where Evelyn is afraid of people finding out about her relationship with Celia. She briefly touched Celia's hand in a public place, and someone noticed. A woman and her husband noticed and immediately started judging her. And so she's at a concert where this man is singing, and she gets up and she starts cheering for this man, trying to show her interest in him, trying to show that she is heterosexual for this man. And she cheers so loudly because she says, "I cheered as if my life depended on it, because maybe it did," which ties into the next quote where she's having a conversation with Celia and she says, "We could end up in prison or a mental hospital," which was a very real risk for people during that time. On to lack of advancement. Coming out in the workplace is a complicated process that involves multiple questions about how you should come out, why you should come out, if you should come out, and who you should come out to, whether it's inside the office or outside. People face discrimination to their sexuality and are constantly denied career advancing positions or opportunities because of other people's biases. LGBTQ employees make up 3 to 12% of the workforce, and the majority of that population tend to remain closeted to avoid disciplinary actions against them. Career prospects for LGBTQ employees rapidly decrease once their coworkers or employers learn about their sexuality. In a study that was meant to examine the various issues and challenges, it was found that organizational heterosexism and homophobia appear to be an obvious phenomenon that permeates the workplace, and wage equality, as well as the fear of losing your job, is also a very high risk. Coming back to the book, when rumors of Evelyn's relationship with Celia start to spread, she has to prove that she is still a heterosexual woman who is interested in men. So she films this topless scene in a French film to sort of perform as this sexualized woman who is interested in men. And she says, I knew what got me famous the first time, which was her body, not necessarily her talent. In the book, it is very much written upon that she has big breasts, and that is a very big reason why people look at her and take the time to talk to her. Also, another reason, because of the rumors, she marries a musician called Mick Reba from the last quote. She marries him so that she proves that she's still a woman and interested in men. There are some benefits. We're just going to go over them quite quickly. There's community, family, feeling safe in your work environment, which is very, very important. Decreases your stress, your mental health, your physical health. It is the best thing that you can do for yourself if that is an option, which is still a problem because it should be an option. And coming back to the book one last time, Evelyn has this feeling where it basically revolves around family. She is in this relationship. She's married to Harry. She's in a relationship with Celia. Celia is married to John, but John's in a relationship with Harry. But they've all created this one big happy family unit where they can all be themselves and safe and not feel judged and afraid for their lives and their careers based on their sexuality and who they love. So family is very much a big part of why she feels safe. And I just created a quick chart of do's and don'ts considering the workplace. The overall theme is respect someone's boundaries, respect their privacy, and the golden rule, if you don't have anything nice to say, then just don't say anything at all. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. Again, my name is Kyra Smith, and do you have any questions, concerns, or quandaries? I'd love to hear them.